Hari Om. Welcome back to our continuing study of this great text, Vivekachudamani. We have just entered Shloka 13 of this great text. Let's continue from where we left off in the last capsule. Shankaracharya said, Satyavastunaha dridhajnanam vicharena eva. The knowledge of the reality is possible only through inquiry. Is only through inquiry. And the question we asked was, what type of inquiry? What type of inquiry? How must one conduct this inquiry? It's the question. It is important to note that we aren't talking about independent inquiry. We aren't talking about independent inquiry. This is very important. The inquiry, therefore, must be supplemented by what or whom is the question. What must the inquiry be supplemented with is the question. Swamiji had said we must use the proper instrument to make a fruitful inquiry, right? So, in the case of the rope snake example, Swamiji said we must use sufficient amount of light to examine the object that's lying in front of us. The whole problem of misconceptions arose because the environment around that object wasn't lit enough. Wasn't lit enough. Therefore, we need to throw light on the object that we are inquiring into. Mark the words, throwing light. It's very important. Very important usage. When someone gives a good speech, a good speaker delivers a interesting speech, we go back with the message saying that it was very enlightening. He or she threw a lot of light on many areas. So, throwing light, words can throw light on areas which we are ignorant, on areas that we were hitherto ignorant. So, Swamiji said, in the case of the rope snake, to arrive at the reality of the rope snake, we need to use a proper tool. And that tool is either a torchlight, a flashlight, or maybe a firebrand, or like I said, Even words can throw light in a dark room. Words can act as light, as sources of light. Mere going near the object that has caused us all the problems is not going to help. Just getting close to the object is not going to help. Proximity alone is not going to help. You need to have something that wasn't there earlier. What wasn't there earlier that caused all the problems for us? That something is that extra luminosity, that extra light. Since light was not sufficient, it caused us to make mistakes. We need to be aided by that extra light source to help us make a proper inquiry. In the case of inquiring into Brahman, similarly, what needs to be the source of light is the question. In the case of Brahman, too, in the case of Atman, inquiring into Atma, the ultimate reality, we need to use sufficient light. And what is that light? Shankaracharya says, Hitoktitaha. Hitoktitaha. Hitaha, the word hitaha means a guru, a well-wisher, a guide, a support, a friend who I can rely on is hitaha. It's getting very interesting, friends. A hitaha is literally one who is a well-wisher, a person who can empathize, a person who knows, who's been there, who knows what the problem is, who has solved the problem for himself with the help of his well-wisher, who was his guru. It is only he or she who has solved the problem for himself or herself can solve the problem for anyone else. Otherwise, it will be like the blind leading the blind. So a hitaha, hita purushaha is literally one who is a well wisher. The Vigraha Vakyam is Hitam Ichchati iti hitaha. Hitam Ichchati, one who wishes well. Hitam Ichchati iti hitaha. And hitaha uktihi. Hitoktitaha. Hitaha uktihi means Guru Vachyam. The words of a Sadguru, to be written carefully and read carefully. In English, Sadguru is written as SAD GURU. One should not misread it as a sad guru. No sad guru can release you from ignorance. He is a Sadguru. He who has discovered the Sat Vastu as himself by the grace of his Guru. Very interesting portion. So, hitaha uktihi means Guru Vachyam. Hitaha uktihi means Guru Vachyam. Hitoktitaha means Guru Vakyena, with the help of the Guru's words. The Guru is throwing light using words. Words are very powerful. In a dark room, when there is power shut down and you are visiting a friend at his place, and the friend wants you to come upstairs. He knows the terrain well. He knows what is where in his house. Therefore, when he hears your voice, he is able to guide you in such a way that you do not hurt yourself by knocking against the objects in his house. He carefully helps you wade through the darkness, as it were, to climb the stairs and reach the first floor where he already is. There is no access to any other source of light. Here, words serve as sources of light. They throw light to help guide you to meet your friend on the first floor. Similarly, hitaha uktihi means Guru Vachyam, words spoken by a well-wisher, specifically by an Acharya, by a Guru, by a Shrotriya Brahmanishtha Acharya. An Acharya who has been there and come back. He knows the route map. He knows the path that needs to be tread. Hitoktitaha means Guru Vakyena. Guru Vakyena. And what purpose do the Guru's words serve? They serve as that extra torchlight or that extra source of light that will guide us to help us understand our self, the immaculate self, the infinite self that we had successfully hitherto ignored, unfortunately. Unfortunately. That is what the Guru's words will do for us if we continue our study with Shraddha and Bhakti. On that note, we conclude this session. We will pick up the thread in the following sessions and take our study forward. Until then, Hari Om. ॐ दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत बन्धेभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ